Okay, so I was picking up on the energy where you're getting out of this stagnant, stuck energy where it felt like you were letting your logic lead, but what you started to realize was that that was rooted in fear. And so now you're shifting from being someone who was moving from a place of fear to a place of intuition. And because you're letting your intuition lead, you're actually leading more from love. But there's a lot of fear in the process that's kind of holding you back. And so you have this hope here. It's like you are creating this beautiful life for yourself, and it's requiring a lot of courage and strength for you to do that because you're having to overcome the version of yourself that is so afraid, that is letting that fear from past experiences, from past, disappointments lead. That's what's been guiding you up until now. But now it's like, okay, you can feel that you're changing. And so I want to see like what's actually coming in next now that you're shifting your energy. Okay, it feels like you're it really like it's interesting because it feels like you're split between these two different energies. So it feels like right now you're having to make a decision. Are you gonna stay in this like old version and let this guide your decisions and that then impact what your life looks like, or are you gonna shift fully into this new energy? It's requiring you to show up in a different way that you've never shown up before, and even though you feel that it's better, it's harder because you haven't done it before. It's new. It's new and it's requiring a different level of strength than what you've had to use, because the strength that you've been having to use to lead your life the way you've been leading it now is one that's been rooted in survival. And the one that you're being called into is one that's led from a different version of you, a version of you that actually like has faith and believe that things are possible. It's not a version of you that's functioning out of fear or scarcity. And this is a version of yourself that you're still getting to know. So this feels scary for you. We do have the devil in the reverse, so I do feel like that is the cycle, that's the pattern. It's like it's scary for you to actually allow this version of yourself to lead. For a lot of you, this version of yourself, you might equate it with your inner child. That's like a phrase that I'm hearing a lot of you might use. It's almost like you don't trust that version of yourself to actually get you through, because the version of yourself you have to become to survive is a lot tougher, a lot harder. But I don't think you're being called to fully like, it's not that you have to let that go, it's just that you have to integrate it. That version of you is there to teach you things. And what I'm hearing now is that even though you have that version of you and you know that it's there, you can trust it to get you through those tough times, you have to also allow this new version to emerge so that you can actually enjoy. Because right now you're not. Okay? I see also for some of you, this wound, this way of functioning was actually out of a wounded space connected to, for some of you, a relationship. Because I do have a King of Cups in reverse here. I do have a Seven of Wands in reverse. Like, some of you have been dealing with energies or have been in energies where you felt like you had to guard or protect yourself because you were in connections that hurt you. Yeah, I also see the King of Swords here. So some of you have just been surrounded by a lot of energies that weren't supportive for a long time. For some of you, this was like your parents as well. I'm also getting that like, for some of you, you've had almost all of your encounters and interactions have been with people like this. So it made you become this version of yourself. That's not actually who you are. Now that you're starting to heal and feel safe again, the new version is really who you actually are. You're just not accustomed to functioning from this space. It doesn't feel regulating to your nervous system because you're not used to it. We have the Death in reverse in the Moon too. So yeah, it's like almost like I feel like for some of you, this is like a grieving process. Like you're having trouble letting this go. Like this is like a shedding of this old version. I don't want to say a death, but metaphorically speaking, that's what it feels like. And it feels like you're not really fully able to let that version of yourself go because there's just a lot of fear. You don't really understand who you are becoming fully yet. And you don't trust that this version of you, which feels softer and lighter, can get you through challenges. But the thing is that your mind is hyper fixated on getting through challenges because that's all you've had to do. We have the Page of Cups here. So in terms of what's coming for you next, there is something new here. It feels like there's like this spark that's coming in that's going to start to blossom into something that ultimately leads you to feeling way more emotionally fulfilled. It's just the more you lean into it, the more you'll have those little experiences come in. And I think that that's going to give you more faith that this version of yourself can actually do this. Like you can actually let this version lead. I think it'll help you move through the fear. The Magician. Yeah. It's like you're creating this. You're manifesting this. Like you are creating this by allowing yourself to be more in that energy, even when it feels uncomfortable for you. Because the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And then the more comfortable you get, the more you'll have these little experiences that start to light you up. And the more you have those little experiences, the more you'll start to create that life that you're like subconsciously afraid of. Let's see. What else here? I see like for some of you, because you've been in these connections, you've been really drained. And so you've been like in this season of like isolating. I think Again, I'm speaking to a collective of people that are going through some very mirroring experiences to mine. It's like right now, I wish I could kind of show you all these cards. So there's this side that's like all of this heaviness, all of this fear, all of this overwhelm, and it's in connection to people and situations that basically made you shrink or become a version of yourself you needed to become to survive, to get through, to guard yourself, to protect yourself. Now that your actual self is coming through, the version of you that's, your lightest, purest version, and these newer, lighter energies are coming in for you, there's this new beginning that you're like on the precipice of, but there's this part of you that's still like in this hermit mode. You're still reflecting and you're still like kind of, again, grieving this old version. You're kind of ruminating in this energy though. And so that's why in the initial reading, I got that it's important to actually make a conscious decision to step fully into this energy, even if it feels uncomfortable. And it's not to say you won't like go back into those old patterns. I think that's very human of us to do, but it feels like once you make that decision consciously, that's when this new beginning, like things can really start to pick up and change for you. And then right under that is the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. Like everything is going to start to speed up really quickly. And it's going to be a lot more natural for you to lead an intuitive led life. Like you will trust yourself a lot more as you have more of these experiences that come in. I feel like there's just a part of you that feels like you still need more actual proof. Underneath that is also the Six of Wands. So it's like, it feels like once you start to have that shift and you start to see more of these lighter experiences come in for you physically, you could tangibly experience it, that's when you'll start to trust this more. And from there, things will really accelerate because you'll allow yourself to lean more into that energy without fear, without holding yourself back, because there's still a part of you that's kind of repressed because you're afraid. So, that process of like grieving that and letting it go is difficult. It's kind of keeping you stuck, but I also feel like this is just part of it. I'm right there with you. I feel like we're all kind of in that journey right now, and it definitely feels like we all have different timings in terms of when we get out of it, and that's really just based on when we all decide to make the conscious decision to do it. Some of us are having a lot more difficulty letting it go because our experiences are a little bit more extreme. Others of us are like leaning into it, and so we're starting to see those changes happen already. So the timing of this is definitely going to differ for you, but I feel like it's because it's based on when you decide. That's the messages that have been coming through for me, and I've been struggling because I'm very stubborn. So if you're like me and you're stubborn and you're ruminating, this is really your confirmation that you have to ground yourself so that you can make that conscious decision, okay? Because you have to trust what you're feeling more than what you're seeing. You have to trust that once you are making that conscious decision, things will start to shift, and that's the hardest part. I know for me it's hard because I like to actually see tangible proof. But I think part of this journey is learning how to trust that feeling. Okay? And so it feels like that's like the biggest lesson for you all right now in allowing this new energy, this new beginning to actually like blossom for you. So it's weird because I feel like this is still not complete. So I might do another part just because there's just more that's coming up. I feel like I'm still not getting the full story. And I feel like that's because it's different for different people. So I'm going to see what comes up next time. But that's what I have for now. If this resonates, definitely let me know.